I'm recording a commentary vid because I got my computer working, and I really wish I didn't make this mistake, but I made this mistake twice already on my channel, where I upload one of my old vids, and on my Fallout New Vegas vid, which I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna be redoing it right here, but my old Fallout New Vegas vid I made a fatal error with, and I've done this before too, where I put one of my old videos on it, like a video that I've already uploaded. For any of my viewers that saw the Fallout New Vegas vid, I apologize because I shouldn't be making this mistake. But if any of you didn't, the mistake was, instead of that being the Fallout New Vegas video that I uploaded, I accidentally uploaded the video about nations, about how to make a prosperous nation, and I put that on there. And I really wish I didn't, but I've deleted that video now, and I'm going to be redoing it here. I hope I don't make this mistake anymore, and I know how to fix this too. I just gotta extensively check the video that I'm uploading, and I have to make sure it's the other one. And also, I should delete those vids when I'm done with them. I could always re-download them from the video, and yeah. Alright. What was I about to say? I don't know what I was gonna say. Anyways, I'm just gonna explain the reasons why Fallout New Vegas is the best Fallout game. I think it's the best Fallout game for a lot of reasons, but the obvious one, and many of the other reasons, this reason is one that a lot of other YouTubers like this game, and that's the reason it has so many endings. It has a lot of, I think it has 4 endings. There's Mr. House, the Legion, NCR, and Yes Man. Yeah, that's 4 endings. And all of them can be influenced in different ways. Overall, 4 endings is a lot. That's a lot of variety there. Variety is always good for Fallout games. It's set in the West, which makes it like a desert. Wastelands are always good when it's like desert. I'd have to say Wasteland games are always good when they're in deserts. The first Fallout games were good because they were in deserts and they had a lot of story behind them. But just being in a desert wasteland doesn't make it a good game. But it does give it some, I don't know, it's just a good feeling for a game, I guess. I'd have to say it's got a good story too. Fallout 4 really suffered in the beginning because they didn't really there's no really much of a use for introductions in the beginning, but they handle it so well, and the way they did it is great, because you're just this courier who's trying to deliver something, and that's you. There's really not much of a necessary introduction for the character. Well, it might have been good if there was, but Fallout New Vegas still works well without it. And then there's this, you could already tell who he pretty much is. He's a gangster, and he shoots you for the chip. In the beginning of the game, and if you haven't played it before and you're new to it, you're probably wondering, why did he shoot this dude over a poker chip? Which is pretty odd, and that'll unravel further in the game. And it'll make sense more the more you progress through the game. But overall, you getting shot by a gangster just makes you want to get him. And they actually did that really well. Fallout 4 really suffered in the beginning because they didn't really introduce you too much to your wife. But it's you that got shot in the beginning. And that being you, they just handled it really well. You want to get this gangster dude who shot you, and yeah, you gotta get him. Anyways, they handled the beginning well. There's also a lot of choices you can make. There's a lot of choices for endings, and there's a lot of choices in the quests you can do. For example, Goodsprings. Goodsprings has a quest line. Most of the towns in Fallout New Vegas do. In the beginning, when you are first rescued in Goodsprings, you can either help the town, fend off this army of escaped convicts, which attack the town because they want to get this dude named Ringo, who owes them something or something like that. And you can either help Goodsprings or help the convicts get Ringo and destroy Goodsprings. You can either pick one of those, which is pretty good variety in the beginning. And yeah, there's a lot of endings. DLCs are also excellent. My favorite would have to be the one about Joshua Graham. The other ones are really good too. Sierra Madre out of the DLCs has to be the hardest, I would say, but the Sierra Madre is good too. Overall, I'd have to say I like siding with the Legion. I haven't actually beaten the game with the Legion yet, but I do think siding with them is pretty fun. But I haven't beaten the game with them yet. I like siding with the NCR before, but the Legion, and, well, I just think siding with the Legion is pretty cool. I'm gonna have to beat it with the Legion soon. I've beaten the game with the NCR and Yes Man, and I still gotta beat the game with Mr. House. And I might be doing my series with Fallout New Vegas with one hand soon. Overall, I hope to beat the game with the Legion soon. But I think when I do my Fallout New Vegas with one hand playthrough, I probably am going to side with the NCR because, I don't know, it's pretty cool doing that too. I like siding with the Legion, but I also like destroying the Legion. It's pretty mean to say that, but it's also not because they're evil. It's fun just destroying the Legion because, I don't know, this is more of my personal things. I think Fallout New Vegas is good because it's got a lot of variety. They introduce you to this gangster who shoots you, and the game already just makes you want to get him because he shot you, and he's this gangster type person too, and nobody likes them. DLCs are good. Overall, it's got an excellent, I can't speak, quest line, if you even choose to do that. When you did the first quest in Goodsprings, or if you even decide to, there's a few options you could take to progress further in the game. You can either take the game's normal quest line, or you can just go right through the Cazador Valley thing. Basically, there's this long sort of trench thing that you can go through, and it's infested with Cazadors. You can either take that way to New Vegas, or you could take the long way. And the long way is also the quest line. All the quests are along that. It's less dangerous that way. Well, the dangers along it are vary, so it's sort of undecidable which one is more dangerous. I don't know, it's undecidable. But you can either choose one of those to get to New Vegas, and New Vegas is where the game progresses next. Take the quick way, which you're going to be there just barely. You'll probably have went through all your stim packs, because you have to then go through all the fiends to get to New Vegas after you went through the Cazadors. Oh yeah, the minor quests, the minor factions, that's what I was thinking about talking about. There's a ton of minor factions that you can't beat the game with, but they'll be useful later in the game when the game is ending. The game ends at the second battle of Hoover Dam, where you can either side with the Legion to take the dam, you can either side with the NCR to defend the dam, you can either side with Mr. House, I think he takes the dam, or you can side with Yes Man, who also takes the dam. And the minor factions could basically just help at the dam, and they've got some pretty interesting quests too. They can also give you some good stuff. The Brotherhood is really good at the dam. So are the Boomers, which have this giant fighter jet. The Enclave are pretty, well, the Enclave Remnants. They're not really a minor faction, but they're pretty good too. Basically, minor factions are pretty cool too. It's a shame though that they weren't actually endings still, though. I can't really speak. It's a shame that the minor factions didn't have their all own endings, but if they did do that, the game might have had a bit too much variety, but I don't know. Might have been a good idea. It'd probably involve more quests though with them. And adding more quests for a minor faction to beat the game would be, well, I'd have to say it's pretty good for a minor faction, because you have to do stuff for this minor faction to gain strength, and they'll eventually take Hoover Dam. But overall, to provide endings for the minor factions would be a nice touch for the game. Even more variety than it already has, which is always nice. Anyways, these were my reasons that Fallout New Vegas was a good game. Sorry about the last video being my nation's vid. Hopefully this mistake doesn't happen again. And the second video of Five Nights at Froggy's 2, well, the first video of it actually is coming out tomorrow. I'm going to be doing it on my phone, and I promise this one's not going to be messed up. Alright, this seems like a good vid. I'm cutting it off. Alright.